I'm here with Derby Telegraph Chief Football Writer Steve Nicholson. Steve, what's the Derby County team news ahead of the game against Huddersfield on Saturday?
Yeah, I've just got back from the training ground. Darren Wassell says that there are no new injury problems, which is always good to hear, from the Wolves game. So the same kind of squad to pick from. George Thorne, interestingly, returned to action last week after 4 games out. He played for 56 minutes. It wasn't his best performance, he'll know that. But often when you've been out for a number of games, it is difficult to pick up the pace again. But certainly the 56 minutes he played against Wolves should do him the world of good. And he's trained this week again, so we'll see how he goes. But yeah, it's always good news to have no fresh injuries. And
the Rams are at home against Huddersfield on Saturday, and a chance to bounce back after their late away defeat at Wolves last Saturday.
Yeah, it's been a really strange week, because they won back-to-back games against Brentford and Blackburn. Okay, the performances were patchy here and there, but you expect that in championship matches. I watch championship matches all the time, not only Derby's games. And teams' performances can be patchy, they're not always great. But it's about picking up points. So they had back-to-back wins against Brentford, Blackburn. And I honestly thought if they could go to Wolves and stay unbeaten, take 7 points from the 9, that would have been a really, really good week. They fell to a late goal. It was a poor goal to concede. The cross should have been cut out. The header should have been defended, and they lost 2-1. They shouldn't have lost that game. They shouldn't have lost that game. And when you get that late in games, you've got to do the basics right and make sure if you're not going to win it, you get a draw. And I think a draw 7 out of 9 would have changed the whole mood of this week. Instead, they lost. So there's a negative mood among a number of supporters, who are still unsure about this Derby team. Can they push on with this promotion bid or not? So yeah, they go into the Huddersfield game. It's a big game. Huddersfield have picked up. They'll be aware of any edginess around the stadium and on the pitch on Saturday. So yeah, Derby need a win. They need a win, and as I say, that should lift spirits.
And it's a busy period ahead for the Rams because this will be the first of 3 games in 8 days. Yeah,
these championship games come thick and fast like that, and what you do, you look at the games in batches. I mean, you've got to. Players and managers talk about taking each game as it comes, and we all roll our eyes when we hear that. But it actually is true. You've got to sort out the next game. Next game is Huddersfield. Then they go to QPR on Tuesday, then they're away at Rotherham on Saturday. So what you look at the whole thing as a 3 games again. Again, 7 points out of 9 would be a fantastic return again. Everybody would like 9, obviously, but I say football's not always as simple as that. But it is a busy week, and in many ways with the Championship, the table can look a lot different after such weeks as next week. So we'll wait and see what comes up. But first and foremost, I feel they've got to get a good win against Huddersfield.